World War III fears escalate as Putin threatens NATO over active war. Um, let me say something to the very little man, Vladimir, the man who's getting his ass kicked, the man who exposed Russia as a weak and failing nation, a man who chased every intelligent person in Russia out of that fucking country 2 years ago. Let me address this very little man, okay? Vladimir Putin issued a stark warning advising that if Western countries allow Kyiv to use longer range weapons to strike Russian targets, the new defense would amount to NATO being directly at war with Russia. Well, I want to inform everybody of something that most people don't think about. They're not students of war. They're not students of warfare, and they're not students of war technology and how quickly and fast it develops. Ukraine doesn't need NATO. Ukraine doesn't need the West. Okay? I want to make that perfectly clear. That's why these kind of comments are fucking hollow. Ukraine is developing their own long-range weapons. They're a smart, intelligent, brave people who are not going to give up. And you saw how quickly they developed drone technology, right? It didn't take them very long, did it? And Russia copied Ukraine. It wasn't the big Ukraine, or the big Russian bear that developed this technology. No, it's fucking Ukraine. And then Russia, being far behind the ball, had to copy Ukraine. Well, guess what? Now they're developing their own long-range weapons. They already have a missile capable of going 1,000 kilometers, and they're going to be increasing that range. They don't need NATO. This is Vladimir Putin screaming because he's getting his ass kicked, and he's basically destroyed his fucking country for the next 50 years, and he knows it. And he's scared, like Donald Trump. You see, Donald Trump, he gets more violent as he gets more and more in trouble, because what he understands is he's going to lose in November and he's going to prison. And when he dies, it's going to be behind bars. Vladimir Putin understands his time is coming to an end. Okay? Desperate men do desperate things. And he completely overestimated the ability of Russia to beat Ukraine. And they're getting their asses handed to him like little bitches. And he doesn't like it. Well, that's too bad. That's what you asked for. It's what you wanted. You wanted all of Europe to switch to a different gas and oil supplier. You wanted all of Europe the ones who weren't, to join NATO. You see, every move Vladimir Putin makes, it backfires in his face, because his base personality doesn't allow him to understand human nature. See? This is a man who's used to saying, kill that guy, and having a guy killed. This is what that kind of power does to your fucking mind. It makes you feel like you're infallible and you can't make any mistakes. Well, everything he's fucking done has been a mistake. Everything. When the war ends in Ukraine, Russia's not going to turn around and be the same old country. He's destroyed their fucking country. These people are shipping 1950s tanks to the front. Okay? So the only reason their economy hasn't completely fucking collapsed is they're having to radically build military equipment now, because they expected to just have a little cakewalk. And what happened was they got the shit slapped out of them. So Ukraine doesn't need NATO, buddy. And I think he understands that. I think he knows that, okay? But what he's hoping is that he can reinforce and rebuild his military before Ukraine can come up with their newest missile technology on their own. They're going to have their own ATACMS. They're going to have their own systems to attack deep inside Russia. You already saw that they're doing it now. They're doing it now, okay? And now you have these vast Russian areas that are now pretty fucking unhappy with Vlad. They have no water. Their roads are fucking falling apart. They don't have, you see, when you have a big area like that, it's hard to take care of infrastructure wise. It's hard to keep roads open. It's hard to keep bridges going. And he's spending all of his fucking money that he can trying to rebuild his military. The trouble is as fast as he can build them, Ukraine's knocking them out. So the truth of the matter is, Vlad, you little, poor little man, you just made a big fucking mistake. You fucked up. That's what happened. You fucked up. You let your egomaniacal fucking mind convince you of facts that weren't true. Just like Donald Trump. I guess maybe that's why you guys remind me like two peas in a pod. Okay? All of you, Xi and Erdogan and Maduro and all of you fucking guys who crave power, you get the disease that billionaires get. It's the same kind of disease where you think you're infallible. Because you can have someone killed at your whim, you think you're something? You're not. You're less than something. You're less than a man. You've now kind of delved into the animal instinct area, where you're now a little more animal than human, not the other way around. And your ability to make rational, logical decisions is getting harder. It's getting harder for you. So, yeah, Kiev doesn't need NATO, Vlad. And I think he knows that. I think he understands that. I think he knows that he's trying to threaten NATO into a peace deal with Ukraine before they can develop systems that will be landing rockets on the fucking top of the Kremlin, just like Russia's doing to Kiev. Okay? Except, you see, Ukraine's not going to be bombing schools and hospitals and supermarkets the way Russia is.